All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're here back again for another live stream. What a World Cup this has been, man. What a World Cup this has been. It's quite mad. It's very exciting. So much to talk about. From not just the Chelsea players, obviously, but also the players that are linked with Chelsea as well, which obviously we're going to touch on today. Joao Felix being one of them. I'm someone who's pro. I want this guy to be at Chelsea Football Club. So we definitely will talk about that. Good to be back home, but at the same time, really nice little break that I had over the weekend with the whole family, which is quite fun. There was a lot of World Cup, moments with my cousins, staying up late or waking up in the morning early to watch some of these matches. Has been quite fun to spend that quality time with the family. Hope each and every one of you guys are doing well. Accolade, good to see you, my man. Bestie HD, good to see how you doing. Miserino, doing all right, my man. I guess Miserino would be my name if I was Italian, right? Miserino, if I was Italian box to box midfielder, Miserino. Get in on it, man. You know Chelsea's interested. Accolade, good to see you, Mizzy, my man. Himanshu, good to see you, Sal Havertz, and it's basically 40 to 50 million for Felix. Do you know what? We'll talk about all of this, man. Some of the players that are going to come back from the World Cup, what confidence level they're going to come back with, what confidence did they have before the World Cup as well. We'll talk about that. Era, good to see you. RN, nice to see you as well. Starboy, Morocco versus Croatia. Can you believe it can actually happen? This is a possibility. Morocco versus Croatia. Oh my goodness me. If that's the final. Someone said it the other day. Was it Valan? I think it was Valan who gives a lot of super chats to this particular channel. He actually said Morocco, Croatia. I mean, it's a possibility. Look, as much as Argentina is outright favorites against Croatia, I'm not going to put... I would be a scared man if I was to bet against Croatia as well at the same time. I know Argentina's favorites, but Croatia is just like Morocco, aren't they? Like defensively solid, man. Just their structure and the midfield of Croatia. Modric, Kovacic, Brozovic. Yeah, I just want to quickly ask you guys, nearly 50 of you guys are live right now. I know some of us, we laugh at this situation. I know we want, that strong defensive midfielder that can tackle hard. And a lot of you guys want Declan Rice. Declan Rice actually had a very good match against England, for England against France. I'm not even going to lie. Him and Shermany, oh man, they really put up a good show. But the point that I'm trying to drive is there are other ways of playing football. And I know club football to international football could be different, but look at the combination of Brozovic, Modric, and Kovacic. Like it's that midfield is immense. That midfield is really, really good. And then when you have that defense just behind them with Vardiol, and Lovren Vardiol for me is probably the standout defender from this World Cup, and it really shows his quality. There's going to be a lot of teams after him. I think Real Madrid is probably one of them that's definitely going to be after him. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Ian, good to see you. Hi, Miz. How you doing? Doing all right, my man. Hope you're doing fine as well. ENTC, Rahul Singh. Good to see you. Hello, Miz. Happy for Kova and Ziyech, but still sad for Ronaldo leaving the World Cup. Do you know what? Before we get in on the show for today, I just want to quickly say about the Ronaldo thing, man. I just saw the video of him crying. I know a lot of you guys are maybe not Ronaldo fans, maybe don't care too much about him and have slandered him in recent times. Some maybe rightly so, some not. But me, as I said it many a times, like Ronaldo is similar age to me. In fact, I think he's same age to me. So me growing up as a young sort of like 18, 19 years old, going through my 20s, like I literally saw Ronaldo's career as I was growing up as well. I know he played for Man United. And then obviously the bigger portion was in Real Madrid. That's where like I really, really got to see so much of him. Obviously, I watched him in Man United, but I couldn't cheer him enough back that time because obviously rivals. But during Real Madrid, like, man, for me, Ronaldo, like he was He was an inspiration. Like just take away the football for a second. Like his athleticism, his unique ability to be so fit and so driven. Like just take away the footballing side for a second, and the footballing side is fantastic, to be honest. Anyway, I know now he's declining, but he's 37, man, or 38, whatever the case is. Um, like I saw some crazy moments with Cristiano Ronaldo growing up, man. Like some epic moments, and to see him cry like that, honestly, that hurt. It did hurt a lot. As much as I was so happy for Morocco and Ziyech, that did hurt. That did hurt, and I don't know whether he's going to continue on. He did say that he could possibly continue on for the Euros, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of you guys are saying, "Miz, watch along." I do want to do a watch along. I definitely want to do a watch along, but I'm a bit worried. Where do I watch it from? Me being in Australia, I'm not really sure. Where can I watch it from? Like, do you reckon there'll be links on Twitter, Twitter Live? Kobina, good to see you. Himanshu, what Villa game? Club football today? Yeah, there's a friendly, man. There's a friendly today. Sort of like a pre-season. Well, you can't even say pre-season, just mid-season before the Premier League starts again. Every club's sort of been going through some practice matches, friendly matches, you can say. We've got one today against Aston Villa. I don't know. I think maybe I should be able to find something on Twitter Live. Some people might be sharing some links. I know in YouTube it's only for UK and Irish countries. It's only for UK and Ireland. So the rest of the world, I don't know, man. I don't know where it's going to be available. I do want to do a watch along, but I need you guys to help me out. So if you can help me out with links anywhere, that would be much appreciated. Kabina saying VPN, Miz. I don't have, like, that's the thing. I don't have VPN on my phone. That's the thing. Yeah. I'll see. I'll work something out. Good to see so many of you guys have joined in. Smash the like button as you have come through. We've got over 60 people, near 70 people lined up. Smash the like button. Let's get the likes up to 70 immediately, and let's get this show up and running. Okay, first up, ladies and gentlemen, we have this news in regards to Joao Felix. I didn't get to watch the Morocco match because it was in insane times for me. So I was asleep. My cousins actually watched it. I woke up and saw the score, saw the highlights. And obviously so happy for Morocco. But in regards to Portugal, they had their chances, man. They had their chances. Bono from Morocco was unbelievable. Bono, that shot he saved against Joao Felix, that should have been a goal. Like, that was an unbelievable save from Joao Felix. So let's have a look at the news, and then I'll give you guys my opinion. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about Joao Felix in recent times. I definitely want Joao Felix now at Chelsea Football Club. I've just got this vision of him, and I feel like he could really work out, and we'll elaborate on this, and definitely want to see what you guys have to say about it. Jorge Mendes is holding conversations with clubs like Chelsea, PSG, and Manchester United for Joao Felix. I think these three clubs are probably the clubs that are going to be after him. I can't really picture anyone else. Maybe Bayern Munich. I'll probably throw in Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich, 86 million is probably not something they're going to be looking at. So that kind of eliminates them. And knowing that they've got Sadio Mane, Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry, Kingsley Coman, they'd have to potentially let go of one of those players. I don't think they'll let go of Sadio Mane, who they've just got. One of those players to make it happen. I think Serge Gnabry has signed a new contract with them, so I don't think that's possible. Kingsley Coman is someone they're talking about, but I think that type of money could be a bit out of their reach. The expectation is that Felix will join a new club in January. So look, this is going to happen. World Cup is over for Joao Felix. He probably doesn't want to return back to Atletico Madrid, and this is probably going to happen in terms of him leaving Atletico Madrid. Where he goes is obviously now the conversation. Chelsea, PSG, Manchester United. For me, those three are probably the right three clubs that are going to be up for him. This is from Fabrizio Romano via the YouTube channel, and you can watch it over here. Now, let's talk a little bit about this situation, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I think Joao Felix will be fantastic at Chelsea Football Club. I'm not even going to lie. He's got the talent. Yes, he can be inconsistent, but who's not inconsistent in our team right now? Can he mature up? Does he just need that change of environment? Is it time that he gets that, different sort of setting, and maybe he can kick into gears? Maybe he starts maturing as a footballer. He is a young player, man. I think he's 23. But his quality, his skill set, I'm not even going to lie. Someone like him, whether it's in our wings, in the left side, right side, or most importantly, even through the middle, just behind a striker, I think that's going to be very beneficial. I just don't want to give players like Mason Mount and whoever else that burden to create, to score, goals on a regular basis. I'd rather have Joao Felix. And I know some of you guys might say that maybe Joao Felix is also not that type of a player that's going to bang in goals after goals after goals, or assist a lot as well. But I feel like his skill set is far more suited. I feel like he does have a better skill set, and maybe a new surrounding, maybe, him being young, like we can mold him into that ruthless attacker. But if I was to compare him with our attackers now, I would put my money on him to be the monster. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be the player that we feel that he can be. Some of his performances in the World Cup was sensational, and I don't want to just take the situation. Let me just bring this up from T-Bay. T-Bay said something that's caught my eye. Pretty sure I hate Mount, but T-Bay, why did you say I hate Mount? Let me see if this comes up. T-Bay is saying I hate Mount, but Felix hasn't done to deserve higher praise than him. Look, it's not about hating Mount. I'll tell you right now. Nothing is about hating a particular individual, particular player. It's about understanding the skill set. It's about understanding who can do what. For me, from what I've seen, the rawness or the talent in Felix makes me think he can be molded into the player that we think he should be down the track. And as I was saying, this World Cup, there were certain matches, especially the Switzerland match, he looked really good. Even the highlights package that I saw against Morocco, he looked really good. And there have been other matches where he's looked really good. Some of you guys are saying Felix or Leao. Look, I know we're very much connected to Leao, and Leao is another one of those youngsters who's, raw, has epic talent. I get it. And I wouldn't be unhappy if we get Leao as well. But for me, there are certain things I think as a fan base we do need to understand about Leao. There are moments where I don't like his off the ball work rate. Like, I don't like him just lingering around and being lazy. Sometimes he looks a little bit disinterested as well. There were a couple of games I saw in this World Cup, he looked a bit disinterested. Against us, the two games that I watched, AC Milan, the first game, he looked like he was dynamic. He wanted to really go up against Reece James and Chalobah. But the second game, I don't really know whether he was that great. I know the second game, Tomori got a red card and it was all sort of done and dusted from there on. But as great as Leao is, there are moments where he's a little bit iffy. So just something to think about. Let me know what you guys feel about Felix. I think Felix, he would combine really well with some of our attackers. I think he could potentially get some good out of our attackers. Armando Broja being one of them. I think Aubameyang would really, really benefit from someone like Leao, someone like Joao Felix. Sterling could even benefit from someone like Joao Felix. I think Mason Mount, dropping a little bit deeper into midfield, could have a really good link up with Joao Felix. I think Joao Felix is the kind of a player that could potentially be a good addition to Chelsea Football Club. Okay, Bestie HD Miz, you just said Felix is inconsistent, but who in our team isn't inconsistent these days? We need a monster, as you said. We can break that chain and start having an impact. Look, who's the monster that we can get in January? And we have to understand as well, not many monsters that we can get will choose us from the get-go. We have to pick and choose who we can go for. Joao Felix, as I said, there's only 3 clubs. Real Madrid ain't going to be going for Joao Felix because they've already got Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, so on and so forth. Barcelona, they don't have the capacity. Man City, they're kind of looking all right for the time being. They're not really interested. Monsters are generally, you look at Haaland. Haaland was a monster, Man City. In recent times, Endrick, future monster, as some people would say, has selected Real Madrid. So monsters are difficult, unless you do something miraculous in the likes of what we did with Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku, how we obtained him, that was brilliant. I thought there would be a lot of challenge from many different other clubs, because for me, Christopher Nkunku could potentially become a monster. He could. But Joao Felix is someone who we can potentially get. I think Man United are definitely going to be in for him. I don't know how Man United are feeling in regards to Sancho. There's also concerns about Marcus Rashford's contract coming to an end. PSG are after Marcus Rashford, so there could be potentially something there for Man United. PSG are always in for a look at. Messi, is he sticking around at PSG? Probably not. So there could be all of that conversation happening in PSG. But Joao Felix, I really do see a lot of benefit. Because I'm very eager to watch Chelsea today. All those days Potter got to train with players and implement his style a bit. Look, I'm definitely keen as well, but let's not move into this game with high expectation, like we're going to see some sort of a style of football. Or there's so many players that are not involved, like the first team players that have been involved in the World Cup. They're not going to be around, so we will see a lot of youngsters, a lot of academy players. Obviously, there are players like Aubameyang, Jorginho, Reece James, so on and so forth. But I don't want people to go into this match thinking, whoa, we're going to see something. I think we just need to treat it as a friendly. Let's see what youngsters can impress. That's pretty much it, man. Like, I'm just setting myself up that even if we don't win, I don't think we have a leg to stand on in the sense that, we can be aggressive towards the team and the manager and so on and so forth. So yeah, we just need to set our expectation right a little bit. Over 100 people live right now. Please smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. Bump those likes up to at least well over 50, ladies and gentlemen. Only 16 likes. The likes are direct correlation to the growth of the channel. If you enjoy the channel, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the discussions that happen on this channel, please smash the like button. Bump those likes up to 50. We've got more than enough. We've got over 100 people, and hopefully more will join through as people will see that in their YouTube recommendations page. Ian Spence, Felix is a fantastic player. I think would be great at Chelsea. I definitely think he would be. Joel, Felix is too soft and cute to come to the Premier League. He would get bullied. Do you really think so? Do you really think he'd get bullied? He plays for Atletico Madrid. Like, Atletico Madrid plays some of the most ferocious football. Like, they play some filthy football, man. Like, dirty tackles, very physical. I don't think he's going to be bullied, man. Like, he comes from being managed by Diego Simeone, who is all about physicality. I think if anything, I think he'll fit in perfectly than any other Portuguese players. And these, generally the Portuguese players, whether it be from, if they were playing in Portugal, they generally come into the Premier League and they do well. Bernardo Silva, Palhinha, and there's many more, man. Many other Portuguese players that have played in the Premier League, they've done well. They're quite physically good, actually. So, yeah, I don't necessarily think Ruben Neves, João Moutinho, like the Wolves team, the entire Wolves team. There's so many Portuguese players that are doing well in the Premier League. Here's another Morata, Kai Havertz in my eyes. The Premier League is different world for Felix. Look, I'll agree in the sense that Kai Havertz, a lot of people seem to compare Havertz with Joao Felix with Kai Havertz, but I feel his skill set is a little bit more superior than Kai Havertz. I really do. So that's just my standpoint. I would love Felix at Chelsea, but I don't think he will come because Felix will think Chelsea is not kind of a club for him. Man United looks like it suits more to him under Ten Hag. Now, look, it all comes down to Todd Bowley has a good relationship with Jorge Mendes, so that's a tick mark. I don't know how much of a good relationship Jorge Mendes has with Man United. Maybe he does. I don't know. But Todd Bowley definitely has good relationship with Jorge Mendes, so that's a plus point. Does Joao Felix pick Ten Hag over Graham Potter? Maybe that could be a down point for us because Ten Hag, Joao Felix could like that attacking brand of football of Ten Hag. He must have seen him in Ajax during. Obviously, would have seen him in the Champions League. That could be a bit of a thing, but can we sell a bit of a project? Can we say that Chelsea's looking to progress in the future with a lot of young players? You're going to be one of those main players down the track. Could that be potentially something that we could do? It's a 50-50. It's a 50-50 because Man United's on the way up as well. Chelsea are sort of hovering around in and about like in the middle of the bunch, but you could potentially see that maybe the future for Chelsea is looking good. It's a tough one. It is going to be a tough one. If it's going to come down to money. And the one thing that's going for us is Man United at the moment, their club, they're looking to sell the club. So are they looking to dish out that level of money when they're looking to sell the club? The Glazers are willing to sell. So there could be a little bit of instability there. Maybe that's something that goes for us. I don't know. Our last Atletico signing was Saul. Do you know what? Saul, right at the end, though, I think just a little bit of mistreatment, man. He was looking all right at the end. I'm not even going to lie. There were a few matches right at the end of the season. I was like, why aren't we using Saul? We might as well use Saul in midfield. There were moments where there were a few games where Saul was looking good. I know earlier parts he was looking horrendous. But as he adapted, he wasn't looking bad. That game against Spurs, that slight tackle on Harry Kane, I still remember that. That was a really good match that Saul had. So later on, Saul was actually getting better. Would you want to use him? Because I must say, I really like that you interact with the free chat alongside the chats that have donations. Not all creators do this, so we appreciate it. Look, man, I've always said I appreciate each and every one of you guys that provide super chats. That means a lot to the channel, means a lot to me. But I also never ever disregard the comments. I know there are times it's very difficult to keep a track of every comment that's popping by, but I try my level best to pick up as many as possible because honestly, it's your comments that drives me to have my conversation and the discussion. So without your comments, I'll just be talking to thin air, to be honest. Respectfully, Aka, good to see you. I want actual wingers on the wings. I hate this signing of playing cams on the wings. I get you. I would also want proper wingers. Like Leao is a proper winger. Rafael Leao is a proper winger. But who's a proper winger that's available in January? We do need to understand that we're going to have to utilize the next few transfer windows. It's not all just in January. Next summer has to be used. I'm very focused on January. Who can we potentially bring in January that can lift us, that can make us better? I think Joao Felix is in the market. It's a great opportunity. It's actually a fantastic opportunity. I don't know whether players like, I would love to get Leandro Trossard. Yeah, Trossard would be fantastic during January. Can we potentially get him? I don't know. Is Brighton going to be open to let go of one of their key players in January, knowing the kind of season Brighton's having as well? Are they going to get enough time to replace? Trossard's a big player for Brighton, man. Huge player for Brighton. So how possible is that during January? I don't know. Is that more of a summer thing? Same goes with Caicedo. So can Rafael Leao happen in January? I don't know. There's all sorts of rumors going around with his contract situation, whether he agrees it with AC Milan or not. I don't know. All right, we're going to slowly move on to now in regards to Christian Pulisic, and then obviously we want to talk about Hakim Ziyech and Mateo Kovacic. Now, in regards to Christian Pulisic, Newcastle are reportedly readying a permanent offer for Christian Pulisic in January. This is coming from Simon Phillips. As you know, he's got a lot of internal connections, Simon Phillips. So you're going to have to take his news seriously. Newcastle for Christian Pulisic. Look, he's another one of those players who was massive for United States. Had a very good World Cup. I'm not even going to lie. He had a decent World Cup. There was an assist. There was a goal, important goal against Iran. Yes, they came up against a hot Netherlands, but Netherlands almost did the trick on Argentina as well. USA played a really good game against England too, to be honest. Christian Pulisic, look, I was on the boat in regards to Christian Pulisic, much like Kai Havertz. I was saying that, look, this season, I'm willing to see until the end of this season and then make a decision, because for Christian Pulisic, it's his 4th season. For Kai Havertz, it's his 3rd season. This is pretty much it for both of those players. Like, in my opinion, we have to make a decision. Now, the issue, much like Christian Pulisic with Hakim Ziyech, which we'll touch on down the track, if Graham Potter doesn't want to use Christian Pulisic, as I've said it many times, let's not keep him. Let's not ruin this guy's career. Like, he's a young player. Let's move him on. Let's get him to progress. Somewhere like Newcastle, I think he will potentially get minutes. I know a lot of you guys are saying, say Maximin over there, he's not going to get anything. Probably not. But Newcastle will use a player like Pulisic on a regular basis. Whether he starts or not, I don't know. But he will get minutes off the bench. He'll get that odd start here and there. Maybe he'll start as well. Because Almiron over there is doing really well. Miguel Almiron. It's not going to be easy for Christian Pulisic going to Newcastle. At least you best believe, I think, that if they get a player like Pulisic, they will try and use him, and they will try and utilize his epic fan base from United States. Newcastle will love that. They'll be able to expand their horizons to the United States. That's a different type of fan base that they can lock into. So that's something that Newcastle can look into for sure. It could be a really good move for Newcastle. I'm not even going to lie. I think it could be a very good move for Newcastle. And Newcastle, a player like Christian Pulisic, as I said, whether it's for depth, whether he comes in as a starter, it will only strengthen them. Saint Maximin has picked up a really big injury this season, where he was away for a month at least. And there's some very big important matches that are coming up. They really want to lock themselves up to get a top 4 finish. And I don't know whether they're in all of the domestic cups. I'm pretty sure they're still in both Carabao Cup and obviously FA Cup hasn't started as yet. Are they still in Carabao Cup? I think they're still in the Carabao Cup. So they'll definitely push to get a domestic title under their belt if they can. So Christian Pulisic will only strengthen them, and I think that could be a decent move. As I said, look, I wouldn't want to get rid of him, but if I don't get rid of him, I'd rather use him. I would want to use him, because in recent times when Pulisic has played for us, he's actually done well, and the fact that he still hasn't seen enough minutes, that doesn't sit well with me. Tim B, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. I'll drive Pulisic to Newcastle. Too many chances. There you go. Man has spoken. Tim B has spoken. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably feel that way as well. Bobby Smoky Signals, good to see you, Miz. The problem I have with some of what you say is you keep talking about getting rid of players like Pulisic and Havertz with no certain replacements. This weakens Chelsea to strengthen rivals. I get where you're coming from, Bobby. I really understand that. But what's the point of keeping them if we don't use them? Like, you talk about no certain replacements. What replacements? Like, how much minutes do they play? Do they play enough minutes to warrant that, we desperately need a replacement? It's not like we're talking about we're getting rid of Reece James. We definitely need replacement because he's a big player for us. Or we're getting rid of, let's say, someone like Mason Mount. He plays a lot of minutes for us. Whether you like how he's been playing, that's a different issue. But he plays a lot of minutes. Christian Pulisic, how many minutes has he played for Chelsea Football Club to actually get worried? Where's his replacement? Of course we need a replacement. Yeah, we do. But I'm not going to just keep Christian Pulisic, much like Hakim Ziyech, to rot in the bench. I'd rather use them. But it seems like Graham Potter, and not just Graham Potter, even Thomas Tuchel before him, they don't seem to use him. They don't seem to use Pulisic. They don't seem to use Ziyech. I don't know why, but they don't. Like, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Shadil Miz, rumors are that Chelsea can get Dominic Livakovic for as low as £7 million. I think we should get him to replace Mendy. What do you think, Miz? Look, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a top-notch shot stopper. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the way he keeps all of those shots away, he's literally kept Croatia in the game. His ball-playing ability is not that bad either, to be honest. Is not. I've not seen any bozo moments from him. Obviously, we've seen him against us in the Champions League. I just remembered. I completely forgot. Dinamo Zagreb. I think he's the goalkeeper of Dinamo Zagreb, isn't he? Yeah, I've not really seen any bozo moments. Like, as much as I like Diego Costa, this World Cup has had a couple of bozo moments. So is he one of those goalkeepers that have those off moments here and there? Has a lot of money to spend on Diego Costa as well, as much as I like Diego Costa. Livakovic at 7 million. Does he become a number one for us? I would still say Kepa's shot-stopping ability isn't that bad either, man. I know Kepa, a lot of you guys will say, is susceptible to long-range shots, but Kepa, when it comes to shot-stopping, has made some miraculous saves as well. Prabuda, Miz, practically speaking, let Pulisic go to Newcastle and let us target Felix, Dumfries, Edison Alvarez in January. Wow. If that happens, see, I've been saying 3 transfers in January. 3 transfers, and you've nailed it. Because I said a defensive midfielder, a backup for Reece James. I know some of you guys might think Dumfries as a backup is a bit of an insult, but I still think Reece James is better than Dumfries, but Dumfries is damn good. Damn good. And he will get minutes. You know he will get minutes because Reece James, I don't think can play every single minute. He cannot play every single minute. And Felix, I've been saying that we need an attacker. If we get these 3 in January, that strengthens us. Even though I'm not a massive fan of Edson Alvarez, I think Edson Alvarez is the most realistic one that we're probably going to get in January. I can't see any other defensive midfielders that we can get in January. If we want to start revamping our midfield, maybe we can start with Edson Alvarez. You can still go for someone like Declan Rice in summer, or Caicedo, whoever else. But yeah, that would be fantastic. The guy has had the same physique for 3 years, and why don't Chelsea feed Pulisic some red meat? He just gets bullied. He does get bullied, man. We desperately need squad depth. That's Chelsea's weakness. Look at City and Real Madrid, etc. Yeah, let's worry about the starting players before we start thinking about depth. I get you. We do need depth. Okay, we're going to start talking about the 2 remaining Chelsea players in the World Cup. Kepa wouldn't have saved that Tchouaméni shot yesterday. Kabina, you're one of those guys that would have tweeted straight away, Mendy saves that. Tell me, Kabina. Are you one of those guys, as soon as Tchouaméni took that shot? I actually said it in one of my tweets, I think, or maybe I said it in my previous video. If that was Kepa and Tchouaméni took that shot, I'm pretty sure, Kabina, you would have been one of those fans. Mendy saves that. Brother, no one saves that. No one saves that. Put it that way. Sai is saying, I think Amrabat will be available in the next window. Miz, yeah, look, Amrabat, I really like Amrabat as well, but a lot of people don't want to talk about it because, World Cup bias, recency bias, this and that. Anyway, let's talk about Hakim Ziyech and Kovacic, ladies and gentlemen. I am so proud. I am so proud of Morocco. What a team. What a story this is turning out to be. The entire nation of Morocco. Look at all the parties that's happening around Morocco, in Rabat, in many other places. It's amazing. The entire Africa continent, all the nations in Africa, they're uniting as one and supporting Morocco. I love that. See, sometimes there's all this tribalism, and this tribalism, it really has started from UK. Honestly, all these things started from UK, tribalism stuff. If you look at historically as well, forget about football. They're the ones that have gone out in all around the world and divided people. All of these tribalism stuff has started from UK. Africa, the entire Africa coming together and supporting Morocco. The entire Muslim nation is coming together and supporting Morocco because Morocco is predominantly a Muslim country. The Arab world as well coming together and supporting Morocco. Asia as well, like all over the world. Morocco, the kind of support they're seeing, amazing. The other thing that I love, Morocco, when they win the match, a lot of their players, they run up to their mums, grab their mums, hug them, bring their mums into the field, dance with them. I love that. How many nations does that, man? Moroccan players, the mother's blessing is so powerful, man. I'm telling you, so powerful. And that's what first connected me with Hakim Ziyech. I don't know how many of you guys heard this. Some of you guys have asked me, why do you like Hakim Ziyech so much? It's that first video when I saw Ajax, when he was announced for to come to Chelsea. His mum, Ajax made a video. His mum was there, saying stuff to Ziyech, giving him well wishes and so on and so forth. And Ziyech was sitting there watching that video of his mum, and tears were just coming down Ziyech's eyes, man. Tears was coming down. I swear to you, I was so teary. I love that about Morocco, man. I love that. They touch the heart, man. They really do. They touch my heart, that's for sure. I'm so happy for Hakim Ziyech. So proud. Semi-finals of a World Cup, man. Semi-finals of a World Cup. It's not a small feat, man. First African nation to make it to the semi-final of a World Cup. I love it, man. I love it. And I hope they can do the trick against France. I really do. I don't think France will have it easy. France, for some reason, they didn't have their way against England. They really didn't have their way. England actually had a very good game. France, a clutch goal from Giroud. I think France will find that defense very difficult to break. Morocco's structure is strong. And then if they can break with the players like Soufiane Boufal, Ziyech, El Nasiri, in the middle, Amrabat, Onahi. They got some good players out wide. Hakimi, Mazraoui, Roman Sayes of Wolves. Wow. Ogard from West Ham. They got some players, man. They got some players. I'm just thinking, Hakim Ziyech, once he comes back to Chelsea, what are we gonna do, man? I think this guy is probably over it as well, but we'll talk a little bit about that. Thank you so much for this generous, much generous super chat from Atan. Really appreciate it, my man. My bro, thank you as always for content. So yes or no, do we give Ziyech another chance at CFC or move him for premium because he has obviously had a great World Cup? To be honest, I think his mind has moved on from us. Fingers crossed. Look, if it was me, I'd give him another chance for sure. For me, he's always had that X factor. Always had that X factor. Why not have a system that tries to get the best out of him? I know a lot of you guys might say, we don't want to do that. Why not? We don't win games. We don't win games. Why not give ourselves the opportunity to have a better percentage, better probability to win games if it means to focus on a player, to have a system based around him to get the best. If that means we can win games, let's do it until we actually have more players coming into the team that can have a better balance. I said that last season as well. We've got regardless of what we think about Romelu Lukaku, if we had a system to get the best out of him last season, maybe we could have done something. I know what he did was mad, and I can never forgive him for that. And one of the biggest reasons why I don't want him back. But I think the point that I'm trying to drive is we don't win games. We are not good enough. So when we have an X-factor player, let's utilize him until we can actually get more players in and actually have a team that can play as a team. We don't have a Man City type of a team where every individual is so good. So for me, I would definitely utilize Ziyech, but I have a feeling, as you said, I think Hakim Ziyech might have clocked out with Chelsea Football Club because he didn't get enough chances with Thomas Tuchel. He's not getting chances with Graham Potter. Is Graham Potter going to watch this World Cup and say, do you know what? Maybe let's utilize him. Maybe let's utilize him. I don't know, man. I don't think he might do that. But once again, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Because honestly speaking, rumors of Felix, Trossard, and other big names players should not drive our focus away from Arsene Zakarian. Arsene Zakarian is one that, look, the three that I've said, Arsene Zakarian shouldn't fall into that three. Arsene Zakarian, we should just get him. I think he's one definitely for the future. He can start from the development squad and eventually make it into the first team. I like the look of Arsene Zakarian. His creative sense, we need him. We need him. You look at what Martin Odegaard does for Arsenal, that creativity in midfield. I feel Arsene Zakarian could be someone a bit better than him. And no disrespect to Martin Odegaard. So Odegaard for me is just a side story that we just need in January. I think start off from the development squad and move yourself up. That and my man, thank you so much for the super chat. Another one of those individuals that pump super chats to the channel. Much appreciated. We can't do that. The rest of the players would get upset like Mount Sky, who were key to the Champions League and Sterling for the league. Yeah, I know. I sense a little bit of sarcasm there, Valen. But we have to, I would really focus on players that can change a match for me. And for me, that's Hakim Ziyech. He'll change a match for me. I know some of you might say that's bias. I've been harsh on Hakim Ziyech as well. I really have. Personally, in this current team, who are the X factors? Who are the genuine X factors? Ziyech is one of them, man. Ziyech is one of them. Christian Pulisic can be, yeah. Sterling can be. But I'm starting to think more and more Sterling is probably a goal scorer than a creative hub. But yeah. In life, no limits. Good to see you, my man. You said it, Miz. If we resume club football and Potter starts again with the usual suspects without giving at least Pulisic and Ziyech is still here a chance, then I'm sorry, he's clueless. Look, some of you guys are saying, let's cash in on Ziyech. There's some rumors going around that Ziyech is worth about 15 million euros. That's mad. For me, what type of a cash in is that? What kind of a cash in are we going to do with 15 million euros? That's actually an insult. Let's talk a little bit about Mateo Kovacic now before we wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't really given him his plaudits. I haven't really given him his kudos in this World Cup because I've been a little bit negative towards Croatia. I feel like Croatia, how they've gone through to semi-finals is quite insane to me. Yeah, they probably should have been beaten by Belgium, if I'm being absolutely honest. Lukaku, if he had his shooting boots on, Belgium should have gone through. Japan as well, I thought had their moments against Croatia. Japan's penalties were pathetic. Brazil, they just fought and fought and fought. But that Brazilian team, man, that Brazilian team was my favorites to win the World Cup. But kudos to Croatia. Fighters, proper fighters, warriors. And as I said, Kovacic, in part with that midfield with Modric and Brozovic. Insane. Kovacic, in this entire World Cup, there have been games where he hasn't really played that well. But then there's been games where he has played well. Like against Morocco, I didn't see much of Kovacic. We did the watch-along on this channel. I didn't see too much of Kovacic in that game. Morocco actually had some decent chances in that game. Against Canada, I think Kovacic had a good game. Against Belgium as well, I'm not really sure whether Kovacic had a good game. Against Japan, Kovacic had a decent enough game. Against Brazil, he wasn't bad either. But yeah, Kovacic is another player, into the semi-finals, and kudos to him. Croatia, man, defying all odds, much like Morocco as well, defying all odds. What a team, man. I wouldn't bet against them against Argentina. I know Argentina with Leo Messi will have that X factor to open them up. I get it. But Croatia's so dogged, man. They got that dog in them, man. They really do. They have that dog in them. So it's going to be incredible. And kudos to Kovacic. What about Kovacic's mindset as well? Is he one of those players that is that he's keen to join back. There's been some rumors in recent times, some articles talking about Kovacic is one of those players that are contemplating their future. Is over Chelsea as well, like all the changes that has happened. And Graham Potter hasn't always fancied Kovacic. He's been saying that Kovacic has been carrying injury, this, that, the other, but then Kovacic has been playing every match for Croatia in the World Cup. What happens to Kovacic once he comes back to Chelsea? Does he still carry those injuries? Do we look to perhaps sort that injury situation out? He seems to be getting injured for Chelsea on a regular basis as well every season. Miz, did you watch the last night's game versus Portugal? Ziyech, Hakimi, Onahi are absolutely on fire. I missed that game because it was an insane time for me, but I did catch the highlights, man. Good team, good team. Good thing Bowley is not Marina. Top Bowley should stop any kind of English favoritism from Graham Potter. I don't know, man. I don't know. What else is going on? Joao Felix, I'm choosing Joao. I think why not both? Why not both, man? Morocco fans was very disrespectful to Ronaldo yesterday, man. Were they really disrespectful to him? They were coming up to him and trying to say thank you or sorry to him, or so, like they were trying to console him. I don't really know whether I haven't seen any footage in regards to that, but we'll see. Brother, where is the Aston Villa versus Chelsea game streamed and what time? Look, I'm trying to figure it out as well. I'm trying to figure it out. Live chat, let us know. I will try and do a watch along for it, but I need you guys to either DM me if you guys have the contact in Instagram or on on Twitter. DM me. For people that are outside of UK and Ireland, how can we watch the match? Let me know. We'll do a watch along. And we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. We've got well over 150 people live, only 57 likes. If we can get the likes up to well over 100, that'd be much appreciated. Any likes after that will be fantastic. I will do a watch along, but please help me out with the link. I'm hoping there'll be some Twitter live stream for the match, so I can get that. Hopefully it'll be on YouTube through other channels. I don't know. So we'll see from there. Until next time, hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.